Captain Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
Nolan Wells' mother just wanted to find out what happened to my son. That's it. And that's all. She haven't been bothering nobody. She haven't been a problem until she went and got Ben Crump and Al Sharpton. Ever since that, she's been getting harassed. She's been getting picked on, bothered. And one of the guys who she says is bothering her the most is Officer Tatum. Now, when we did a video on Officer Tatum, he was this clean-cut guy, smooth talking, seemed like he was a well put together guy, at least from the videos that we've been doing reactions to. We seen him do the reactions to Nolan Wells' friends. And a lot of people said that he was leaning more to helping Nolan Wells' friends instead of covering it down the middle. Nobody would expect Officer Tatum to be this guy, at least. I didn't think he'd be this guy. This is him right here. Check this out.
I told you. Everybody on your live stream know you's a bitch. And when I see you, I'm whooping your Everybody got it on live stream.
I like it.
You want to be hood? You want to be hood?
Yeah.
You on the phone talking shit to me and you call me and saying you apologize? Yeah.
Never apologize.
You apologize?
I never
You
apologize.
didn't apologize. My wife listened to you, nigga.
I never apologized. What I
cool,
said
bro. We
was,
don't need to be
what I
beef.
said, what I
Y'all
said was,
bitch, nigga.
what I
That's the
said.
law.
So I guess that's when Tatum was a Democrat.
All right. We seen that and we all heard that just now. Now, maybe this is why he got a problem with certain people. You see, one thing for sure, two things for certain, not all, but when it come to most, we all have a problem with one another. We'll talk crazy to one another. We'll downplay, disrespect each other to the highest, man. But when it come to everybody else, we don't do that. We don't talk to them like that. Imagine if he would have been talking to Nolan Wells' friends like that. Y'all know what happened, and won't you, y'all gonna get. If we would have seen that, we were like, woo, he on it. But guess what? He wouldn't have did no views. He wouldn't have did no numbers like that. You see, he got a problem with the guy that who he was just talking to. And who was that guy? What do he look like? Like me and you, right? Okay. All right, so let's go over here and find the video where Nolan Wells' mom is saying that this guy is been bullying her and doing a whole lot of madness. Let's go.
Nolan Wells' mom was on Don Lemon earlier today, and she revealed the great levels of evil that Officer Tatum rhetoric has brought to her life. The amount of harassment, the amount of racism, the amount of attacks that she's been getting due to the rhetoric of people like Officer Tatum and what they've been spewing about her and her family. This is unacceptable. Don Lemon actually asked Nolan Wells' mom what her thoughts were on Officer Tatum and his antics as of lately, and her response was perfect. She gave the perfect response to how everybody should respond to Officer Tatum.
And we can't move forward because we don't have answers.
So when you talk about all the things that have been spread, there is this officer, I hate mentioning his name, a former officer who is a far right wing, who's been doing the interviews and has been saying, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Brandon Tatum. No. Comment.
I respect that. And that's the right answer for everybody, I believe. And I feel like, because I mentioned him, I'm like, why did I even mention him? Because he doesn't deserve a platform.
No, he does not.
Here's the thing. His name came up. She shut it down. She's not going to talk about him whatsoever. Tatum still found a way to clout chase off this clip. Right? He still found a way to.
Now, I'm not hip to Officer Tatum. I'm not. I haven't watched any of his content until this Nolan Wells case popped up. But why nobody likes him? Can y'all explain that in the comment section? Or even go to my Instagram and put some clips up to why people don't like it. You know, it's clear to see that he has a problem with everybody. Let's go back and get to this.
Clout chase a 1 minute live stream off this clip. And the reason why she's refusing to speak on Tatum or why she doesn't respect him and don't want to talk to him is because, his harmful rhetoric has brought a lot of chaos and torment to their life. See, because of those interviews that Tatum have been doing and those live streams he's been doing, calling his family race hustlers, claiming they're doing this for money, claiming, they have no proof that anything bad happened.
Did he say that about those friends of Nolan Wells? Because we just seen them with a going saves. They doing it for money too. They asking for money. Did he come back and say anything about them with the go and save that they had asking for money?
That they're just lying on the family. Yo, he's really been spewing some really dangerous rhetoric about this family. This is just a grieving mother who's trying to get justice for her son.
The DA had called and I missed the call. And by the time I saw it, it was too late and I wasn't going to call her at 9:00 because I've had to change the settings on my phones because of the harassing phone calls I've been getting.
Amen. Now, can we talk about the other stuff? You went there, so I feel like I can go there because I've been bothered by it. We've been reporting on it. It's disgusting. I'm going to start with one thing, and then I'll talk about the harassment of you, and especially as a mother and then as a medical professional, and I know you take your profession very seriously when you said, I love everybody, black, white, red, green, it does not matter. So do not get that wrong. And you've always had really good reviews. Yesterday, with not only speaking up for your son, but for others as well who have been involved in mysterious deaths. That was a very emotional moment for you, and the vulnerability I saw there. What do you want to say to folks who are, your wife is getting, threats, she's being harassed, those families have been treated like they're a nuisance by police departments, according to the reporting. What do you want to say to America about this?
Like my wife said, just from a parent standpoint, we just want to know what happened. We want a fair and thorough investigation, just like the other families, because we hurt just like them.
All right. One thing I can say about this guy right here, Nolan Wells' father, man, he just big, strong looking guy, but he's humble. And we haven't seen him crash out and get on the internet and talk reckless yet. We didn't see him talk like the Tatum guy in the beginning of the video. He's haven't been yelling, any of that. And it's his son who got unalived. I think he's doing a good job at being a stand-up guy, man. Yeah, man. He get applause for that, man. Don't crash out, man. Stay how you doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Stand humble until y'all find out what happened. Stay prayed up.
You could see tears in that grown man's eyes as he's talking about what's going on with his family, what's going on with his wife being harassed and them being harassed. And a bulk of the harassment is coming from the interviews and the rhetoric that Tatum is putting out there in his live streams and his shorts and his tweets, right? He's coming probably like an inch away from just calling these people just straight up scammers. Like that's how Tatum is moving. Now, Nolan Wells' mama believes, he's being slandered. He's being defamed on Tatum's platform, right? That they are painting Nolan in a light that he's just not.
But I want to talk about this blaming the victim and smearing the victim. The reports that we've been hearing. No, Nolan was drinking. He was doing this and he was doing that.
Right.
Why? I guess we know why they're doing it, but we
know exactly why. To ruin his character. See? If you could mess up a man's character and get people to believe what you want them to believe, then guess what? Nobody is going to take it. Oh, he's a drunk. He's a drug addict. That's what they doing. They playing the game. That's why they doing what they doing on his show.
I know what your assessment is, how you feel about that, because even let's just say that he was. I'm not saying that he was. Let's just saying that whatever he was doing, that doesn't mean that you have to die. Then that doesn't mean he was the only one.
Exactly.
And what do you think young people do? On my senior trip, I was, out there, right? So I'm just saying, kids have fun. So what does that have to do with anything? That's what I don't understand. What's your assessment on this?
Honestly, I feel like that is a way, which we've seen this before, right? Pattern recognition. We've seen this where things have happened, especially when we talk about the Black community. And, after the death, it's a smear campaign. It's, what can we find out about this person? What can we say? And, that's something, my family and I, especially my husband and I, we definitely do not appreciate. But, we can't fight everyone that wants to have an opinion. But also, too, it's part of society. that has been allowed to occur, which is it's gut wrenching.
She's not wrong when it comes to the smear campaign. Think of every black tragedy you could think of. The first thing to follow is a smear campaign. The smear campaign is their way to take away the empathy that people will feel for the victim in that tragedy.
Exactly. Now that mother, she's strong. That mother is strong. She's holding on. And that's one thing about a black woman, man. They are strong. And she doing a good job and being a great example on how you're supposed to hold strong. Not getting up there acting ghetto, talking crazy out the side of your neck. This is how you're supposed to conduct yourself, man.
Right? Because any empathy for any black person is not good enough for them, right? They don't want it at all, right? Like when Trayvon Martin was killed, Trayvon Martin's body wasn't even cold yet. And they was already on Instagram going to his Facebook,
calling him a thug,
finding pictures of him sagging his pants and posting it. They couldn't find mugshots because he was 16. So what they did, they found pictures of him sagging his pants, posted up with his cousins and his friends, dressing how kids his age dress. And they called him a thug. Emmett Till. Bro, Emmett Till been dead for I don't know how long. You still got Matt Walsh in 2026, right? Like doing live streams talking about how Emmett Till deserved his death. These people are demons. They're devils, right? And Tatum is an agent for the devil. It's really that simple, right? It's really that simple. So Tatum will hear all of this. Tatum will hear how his rhetoric, his interviews, and what he's been doing has brought them so much pain. It has been gut-wrenching. And it has brought them so much harassment. He will hear this. Tatum will hear this. And then
I want to see what he had to say about this. I hope you got a clip of this. This is my first time watching this. I'm watching it with y'all, this organic reaction. So I hope that he showed a clipping of that.
do a reaction to this video acting completely oblivious, and as a matter of fact, even pitting himself as the victim and not the mama. Watch how Tatum try to imply that this woman just committed a crime by saying his name.
Here we go.
Of it. Now, I've said enough. Let me get to Don Lemonhead and Nolan's mother. I'm going to be respectful to his mama. But I do have criticisms. When you watch this video, you're going to see why I have criticisms. Roll the clip.
When you talk about all the things that have been spread, there is this officer, I hate mentioning his name, a former officer who is a far right wing, who's been doing the interviews and has been saying, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Brandon Tatum. No.
Time out. Do you guys find that kind of suspicious or interesting that Don Lemon said, I'm not going to mention his name? Fair enough. If you don't want to give a person publicity, if you don't believe they're legitimate, you won't say the person's name. He said, I'm not going to say his name is this officer, right? Then mom gets on and you would think she would say, I'm not talking about that dude. He's irrelevant. He's not worth my time. I'm not talking about this guy you talking about either.
But that's a woman, man. Like, come on, man. That's a woman. Gotta stop taking everything to heart and working with feelings and getting emotional and all that. That's a woman talking. What do you think she gonna do? This is what women do.
Why would she say Brandon Tatum? She put my full name out there. And in my personal opinion, she want people who hate me to come out and know who I am and search me and do all that other stuff, but refuse to address specific things that they're saying that I'm saying.
He's such a spineless coward, bro. So he's now implying that the mama said his name, Brandon Tatum, to dox him. So that was his implication. Oh, no, she only said that to dox me. This man has his name, Officer Brandon Tatum, on all his social media, on his Instagram, on his Twitter, on every platform he has Brandon Tatum. He goes by Brandon Tatum on all platforms. How's that doxing? How does she say something that y'all didn't know? How does she say something that your audience or people who watch you didn't know? What do you talk? Listen, she didn't do nothing wrong, right? And you have nothing on her, so now you're trying to make up reasons to go at her. It's that simple. Now this dude says, why ain't she talk to me or respond back to what I said? Bruh. Because she knows
she's not going to talk to you because you sit on there and made her son look like they lying. You made it seem like the stuff that we think happened is all a lie without having facts. You taking one side story, running with it, and not even looking into what possibly all the possibilities, as if it don't matter. Only thing that matters is what they saying, like you're trying to get in good grace with them. That's what it seemed like.
You're full of it. Like she briefly debunked like some of the nonsense you said. And somebody on your like show said, right? Like, I think it was like Tristan, the black friend, the mixed friend. He says Nolan Wells was heavily drinking and he was drunk on the island. Tristan left the island before 3 p.m. One of the coaches see Nolan around 3 p.m., around 2:30-ish to 3. And they gave their account of what type of state Nolan was in. So if the mama is already receiving information and tips that's directly debunking all the lies that you're spewing during those interviews and you are platforming and allowing to take place, why would she need to talk to you and the liars?
Exactly.
She know what you guys are doing. Like, she know y'all mission. She's not about to entertain that.
Person, what can we say? And, you know, that's something, you know, my family and I, especially my husband and I, we definitely do not appreciate. But, you know, we can't fight everyone that wants to have an opinion. But also, too, it's part of society that has been allowed to occur, which is it's gut-wrenching at best. Because if you were in our situation, you know, how would you feel if there were millions of people who are saying, oh, hey, well, you know, he was at an island, he was heavily drunk. And again, even with the drinking, there are so many conflicting stories, only because I have spoken with adults who knew Nolan.
Well, she was supposed to say, for one, my son don't drink. I've never seen my son drink. He's not an alcoholic.
Very well. Coaches that were out there. One in particular, I think he told me he saw Nolan somewhere between like 2:45 and 3:30. He was like, Christine, yeah, we talked for a while. We talked about college. We talked about his life, his plans. And he was like, he was perfectly fine.
But the friends is telling Tatum that Nolan was high on coke and Nolan was sloppy drunk.
Only thing that could mean that it's more than to the story that we know. If they saying he was high, he was drunk, but then you have a coach who said, I seen him around 2:30-ish, 3 o'clock, seemed like he was fine. I spoke to him. He was good. He wasn't under the influence of anything. So when you got somebody like that coming forward, why we haven't seen that coach, I might could find a video. It might be one lingering around with the coach, but it don't make no sense. So if it doesn't make sense, what is hiding? If y'all saying the man did all this, we got another man saying, hey, when I seen him, he was fine. He's perfect fine. It seemed like it's a cover up somewhere. It seemed like something is going on. These are my thoughts. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. These are just thoughts. But something not right. And I hope we're going to keep covering this, man. I hope y'all don't think this is going nowhere. We not stopping. We're not going to stop. So y'all share the video, man. Share the video. Keep sharing it because they don't want these videos to get out. So keep sharing it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channels. Compton Rick Rock, Compton Rick Rock TV. Leave the mother and father alone. They just want to find out what happened, man. I'll catch all of y'all on the next one.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Compton Rick Rock TV. Also, hit that notification bell and catch every video when I drop.